Hello, it's me, Cassidy. You hear a noise, it's just my iPhone is propped up on my laptop. So that's my, fan, that, like, the cooling pad. It's the cooling pad going, so don't pay any attention to it. I thought I should go a little bit more in depth in terms of my last video. Because when I made that video, I really didn't want to talk about it because it sucked. It was like, well, probably only a few days after it happened, but it wasn't a nice time. And I didn't, like I said, I really didn't want to talk about it at that point. But I mean, tomorrow makes it a week since I've been rejected, and I'm kind of okay now, but not entirely. So I will talk, this is me ranting and talking more about the situation and how I feel about it. So, for those of you who are watching me for the first time, just browsing through Disney College Program vlogs, it's going to be a sad one. So, just don't watch if you don't want to, I don't care. I need to get this out of my system. This was my first time applying to the Disney College Program. I first heard about the program when I was 15, 16 years old. My dad told me about it, and I researched it for days on end, and ever since then I'm like, I'm gonna do this one day. And then I went to college, and I'm like, oh, every single semester I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do it this time, maybe I'll do it this time. Oh, no. I always pushed it away, but this time, literally, this time I kicked myself. I was at a point in my life where I'm like, I need to do things for me and make things better for me. And I finally, I did it. I said, okay, I'm going to apply this time. There's no question about it. And so I was going to apply, at first, I wanted to do the spring program. That way I could be home for the holidays with my family. But, because the holidays have always, that's like the one time where all my family's all together, and it's very special to me, but that's a whole nother video. But, yeah. I applied September 5th. That was the day that applications dropped for the spring 2014 program. I applied, I think, the hour that they opened up, and I went through, and it was all exciting, and I was nervous, but I was still excited because I'm like, this is like the first step to something really big for me that could happen. And I was just on this huge Disney kick from the minute I applied. I've spent all my money on Disney shirts and sweatshirts and sweaters and all that stuff, and I've been watching the videos. I've been on Disney Pandora Station, and yeah. So we find out, of course, the very first time that I actually do get myself to apply, they changed the whole system. I have this whole thing memorized because of how many times people have tried to talk to me about it. Not everyone will move forward in the interviewing process. Not everyone will be receiving a web-based interview. You could be hearing by November 15th. I understood that, and I thought I was going to be okay with it. But it was like 1 week passed. I didn't get any emails. Then that turned to 2. Then that turned into a month. And I was slowly starting to just lose hope, because I didn't hear anything from Disney at all. I only heard from them, twice I heard from them. First time I was just curious. I emailed recruiting once, just saying, on my dashboard, my status says submission. Does that mean that you still haven't reviewed my application yet, or you have? And they gave me the generic answer. The second time was October 5th. It was the 1 month mark since I applied, and I got a pending email, which was weird, but everyone else who applied the same day as me, they got that too, who never got a web-based interview. But other than that, I didn't hear from them at all. And every single week, oh, I got accepted into this position. Oh, I applied. There were people who applied weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, who got their interviews and got accepted. And I'm sitting here like, am I even going to be given a chance to, like, prove to Disney why I belong with them? Like, at that point, I didn't even care about getting accepted or not. I cared about getting that chance to prove myself. And then last week, a week from tomorrow, it was, I checked my dashboard, and it said no longer in consideration, and it was just, I had the feeling, the whole time I had the feeling that it was going to happen. And there was a part of me that's like, oh, you'll be fine, you already know it's going to happen, so it's okay, but it's, once you see those 4 words, no longer in consideration, there are no words. It's just really, it's not cool, and it's not a fun time. That was, like, my first rejection, like, ever. And it just sucks because this was the first big decision I ever made for myself. Like, my parents, I've been lucky, like, since I still live at home, my parents still take care of, like, my health insurance, my car insurance, all that stuff, but choosing to apply to the Disney College program, this was, like, this is the first big thing that I have decided for myself, for my own life. And I was so ready, I was so prepared to just, I've never, since I go to a community college, so I don't know what it's like to just be away from my parents, from my family for a few months, or to, like, dorm. I've done sleepovers, but it's like you eventually come home after, like, a day. But I've never, like, lived outside of this house, ever. And I wanted this experience. Like I said, I'm grateful for, like, everything that my parents have done for me, but I'm 21 years old right now. I'm at the point where I need to learn how to live for myself, how to be independent. And I was so ready. And then I see that I'm not going to be given that chance. And it would be understandable if I was able to interview. Because if I got rejected and I did get to interview, it could be like, okay, maybe it was something I said, maybe my interview wasn't that well, and that could be something to work on. But the fact that I didn't get to interview at all, it's like, did I fill out the application the wrong way or something? Is there something wrong with me? Did they just, like, completely overlook me? So many things were going through my head, and sometimes they still do. The day after I got no longer in consideration, I called. I didn't email, because from what I've seen on Facebook, everyone who has emailed recruiting, they just get the generic automatic answer. So I'm like, I'm going to call them, and I need to get a straight answer for myself to see, like, what did I do wrong, or if I did anything wrong. So I should have gotten the lady's name. She was so nice to me. She was so nice and so polite and so understanding. And, like, my hands were shaking the whole time. My voice was shaking. I didn't cry. I just needed something to understand the situation a little more. I told her, I'm like, I just asked her, is there a way, like, I was no longer in consideration last night. I was wondering if there's a possibility, like, to find out why, or, like, the reason behind it. And then she asked me if I ever interviewed. I'm like, no, I didn't. I waited 2 months, and I never got an interview. And the whole main reason, she said that one of the big reasons is that they were so overwhelmed with applications that it's she explained it to me, like she compared it to like when people who are already in the program, they want to extend. It's like you could have such a good work record, you could have great attendance. There could be so many people who qualify and are just have such good qualifications, but they can't take all of them. That I understand. And then I did something, so part of me was telling me not to say it, but I told her, I'm like, to be completely honest, one of the things that frustrated me and a bunch of other people was that there are a group of us who applied the first day. We wait weeks on end just to see if we get an interview. Meanwhile, we see other people who applied, like I said before, 3 weeks ago, who already got their interview. I asked her, is this a random pick and choose thing? And she actually said yes, which is, it's frustrating. That it's like some computers say like, okay, you get one, but you don't, you get one. It sucks. But, I mean, I'm glad I got answers for once. But yeah, like I said, it still sucks, and this is a really tough thing to get over. This is a harder thing to get over than trying to get over a breakup, because if you can get over a breakup, like, well, not instantly, but when you find out that you can't fulfill your dream just yet, it sucks. But I am going to apply for the fall. It might, I mean, I'm trying to think of the good things about this, which are, this will give me more time to save money. This will give me more time to get my grades up a little higher. And I can better prepare myself. Since now I know what to expect, since they changed this whole system, I'm not going to apply. I'm not going to apply the first day applications dropped. I may be completely tempted to, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait a few days and see what happens from there. But until then, I am stuck here. And it sucks. This is almost 15 minutes long, and if you've been watching this whole time, then I applaud you. Because it's just me complaining and whining and whatever. I'm sorry that that you have to deal with this right now, but I needed to get this out. But yeah, I don't know, it's just, once that happened, it was a big catalyst for like other bad things happening, and it's just, I'm not in a good place right now, but I tend to hide it well, which is, well, in person. On the internet, it's a totally different story. And on the internet, I can write whatever I want, or talk about it freely. But, yeah. Like I said, I'm stuck now. I'm thinking about applying to the Disney store that's near me, that's in the mall. Like, that's 10-15 minutes away from my house. And I know they're hiring, but I don't know yet. I'm still going to school. School's starting to suck again. But I gotta do it, you know? I have to stay in school in order to be qualified for the Disney program. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I don't know when I'll make a video again. Soon, maybe? Eventually. But yeah. For those of you who have been helping me through this, you know who you are. Thank you. And just continue, because I'm gonna need it. And just, I'm really upset, but it's not gonna stop me from applying again next semester. So cross your fingers for me. Send all the pixie dust and wishes that you can for me, because I'm going to need it. But yeah. I will talk to you guys soon. And now the video is 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop now. Goodbye. Mwah.